We're playing with black. And let's see. Open game again. And we'll play with a little increment, I think, right? Ruy Lopez. Nice. So either bishop c6 or bishop a4, I don't know. Let's see. Let's remove d takes c6. That's what I usually do. By the way, bishop c6 is possible even now. So d3. Now it's especially possible because e4 is protected. So we either play bishop c5 or we play b5. Let's play b5. Let's stick to what I usually do. So white decided not to play immediate d4, which is a very solid approach. So what I usually do against this one, I just keep developing pieces in the style of Smyslov system, which is to play h6 to prevent knight g5, then rook to e8, bishop to f8, and stuff like that. And then the knight goes to g3, and then the knight f5. I can also play g6, bishop g7. But for now, let's just start doing something with that bishop. We have some handicap here because white didn't play d4 with one move. But I think white will definitely do it at some point. Otherwise, it's hard to find the active plan. Well, another one can be knight h2 and f4, but anyway, we need some active counterplay here, and a5 is the start of it. So just want to play a4, then potentially knight to a5 followed by c5. I'm just grabbing as much space as I can on the queen side. Okay, in this case we just play b4. So now, whenever white plays d4, white has to think about b takes c3, bc3, then e d4, c d4, and b4 is possible to occupy. For now, let's continue with the plan of regrouping here. Bishop gets to g7, g6 controls f5, preventing the activation of that knight. All this is typical stuff for Smyslov system. Okay, b4 is still not heading, so let's just continue with the plan. Going to c1 may be the move for white, in which case we have to protect h6. And we have two options to do that, like king h7 or maybe just h5. We will see. h5 has a serious drawback because it weakens the g5. But now we can forget about it completely because white decided to take on b4, which I don't understand. Because now white has a protected passer, no questions, but white no longer has bishops. I mean, the one bishop is missing for sure. The Spanish bishop became pretty bad in my opinion. Let's just play c5 fixing this pawn structure because I find it pretty good for black. Maybe it's too much. Maybe c5 was not the best move, but I protect my b4. I control d4 so that white cannot play d4. And that bishop is sort of imprisoned with own pawns, right? So too many circles here, but you get the idea. That one can be red as well. So knight to c4 is the only good thing that white is getting from this operation, I believe. Let's try to make it the last good thing that white is getting here. Now, obviously, I want as much space as I can get for my pieces, for my bishops mainly. So the long-term plan is just to open up a position, because exactly in the open position, the bishops may be efficient. So after pushing that pawn to h4, I got also this diagonal for the bishop, where I can, you know, do something. That's the one thing. Another option is to get to f4 with the knight, actually, and that is what I'm going to try here. Let's get there. Knight h5, and then knight to f4. Also looks pretty active. I may combine it with the further d5 play. We'll see. My queen can jump to g5 now. So it started with pretty passive position for black, but now it's getting more and more active with each and every move. I really enjoy this position. So what happened? Bishop to d1. The idea is probably to bring the bishop to g4. Maybe it's a good time for us to play d5, right? It's time to open up a position for our guys. So now bishop g4 makes no sense because of f5, and we are close to play e4 and finally activate our dark square bishop, which started pretty badly on e7, then on f8, then on g7, being completely limited with own pawns. But now the things are getting better, right? So to play e4 immediately, or just to play king h7 with the idea of bishop h6, it's, yeah, cheesy. I guess e4 is the right move here. But I also want to keep my queen on the board, so I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, I don't see anything wrong with the king h7, actually. So if queen goes away from that diagonal as a result of our threat, white is losing the control over g5 square, and this may be a great square to activate our queen. That's exactly what I'm planning to do here, right? So king h7 should be fine. It's a part of a plan, right? Sometimes you just, you know, avoid moves like that because they have only one single idea to trap your opponent. So for now, it's just a threat of bishop h6, skewering this, guys. But if white defends against it, very good. And I have just noticed that there is knight to e3, which is actually not so dangerous even for white. But okay. Anyway, this looks pretty strange now. Knight will go to e3. Okay, understandable. Too many weaknesses to attack, but what is the most efficient way to do that? I think we'll start this simple move. Just attacking that one. Alright. Should we bring the bishop to f4? Well, why not? Why not? And now let's protect on c5. The idea is to play rook to d8 maybe. To attack d3. Another object of attack is b3 pawn. Right? So we can attack it with the queen from e6. Let's do it. So we start attacking white's weaknesses one by one. Okay, that's already given us this nice pawn. Good news. The only problem potentially, yeah, this queen could have been even trapped after knight to c4. But right now I think we're fine. So queen is back home. And we're the pawn up. And that pawn on a5 looks like an isolated one. So we can deal with it. Knight on c4. Alright. So we can now play queen f5 attacking d3 again. Also intending something like queen to g5. I don't know if that is something that really helps. But may be extremely annoying for our opponent. For now, though, let's think of how to attack a5. Maybe rook a7, a flexible move, which has several ideas combined. For now, let's go here. Maybe f5 will happen. On the next move, rook to d4 is coming as well. Yeah, I like the idea of rook to d4, then maybe queen c6 or queen d5. So we're not in a rush here, by the way. Which is completely fine. f4, f5 will be a mistake now because of queen f4. But we have rook to d4 because queen is protected here, right? Very nice try, by the way. Rook e1. Sneaky. Okay. So now queen to d5. I like this move. Attacking d3. Exerting further pressure on white's position. Still not so simple to convert it because the knight is honestly quite strong. But yeah, I guess gradually it should happen. Gradually it should happen. Rook to a2. I have a feeling that our bishop is not doing much. Can we improve it somehow? We can actually bring it all the way back to even d8 or something, attacking a5. Do we really need it? Feels like we should have something easier. But yeah, it's not so simple. The thing is, I'm constantly distracted by that pawn on a5. Maybe I should just play this move, actually. Blockading the pawn and preparing rook to d7, right? Since everything is controlled in the center now, I guess it's fine. Okay, white decided to resign, which is probably okay in this particular case. So the point is, I think your main mistake was in taking on b4, giving up your dark square bishop. So after cb4, knight b4, and this one, it didn't feel like, you know, a decisive mistake probably, but already now you don't control dark squares equally good as black does. And as you can see, once my bishop was activated, and it's an inevitable thing here, pretty much. Well, I've been dominating the dark square complex completely. So that's the problem with giving up bishops for knights in a position which seems to be closed, but still having the potential for being opened. So be careful with decisions like that. All right. So instead, you should have tried something like queen to c1, in my opinion, attacking h6. Then maybe something like knight h4, knight h2, preparing f4. That is a typical plan for white in these types of positions. Okay. So, all right, guys. Thanks a lot for being with me. I hope you learned something new because of my analysis, and overall, you know, enjoyed the experience. As I said before, we're going to try to make it a weekly stuff for the nearest future. So you will be notified about the upcoming streams. The format will be pretty much like today, and I'll be happy to share some parts of my experience with you guys. Okay, don't forget to subscribe here on Twitch, on Lichess, and also on YouTube for instructive chess videos, and consider to become a premium member, premium user of the Chessfactor platform. I'm sure you will benefit from it a lot. All right. Okay. Have a nice evening or any other part of the day, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.